she turned me into the all-American boy. And one of my favorite pictures with her, which I don't think is in the book, but I'd love to get it to maybe put in the next one, it's me in a ski jacket with her dad's cowboy hat on, and she's got a pom-pom hat on with a ski jacket, and we look like the all-American boy and girl. But she taught me to speak American because she saw me getting bullied at school and being made fun of, and kind of shutting myself off, and she knew I was this kind of fun guy, the kid that she hung out with, and she didn't want to see me pull back, so she taught me how to speak American. But you did it for reasons of professional stuff, for teaching.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times when I first started, there wasn't a lot of women, and the first two schools at universities I taught at, I was the only woman faculty member in their departments, and so a lot of times I didn't want to have another reason for people just not to listen to me, because they're like, oh, what is she saying? What?
Or sometimes they'd listen and you'd say this, you'd say something really serious and really meaningful, and that you really wanted to point across, and they'd go, oh my God, that's such a cute accent.
I love it. Irish. So, yeah. So when you're trying to fight for some credibility, so I think I switched for that reason. And even today, if I'm lecturing, every now and then a student will say, could you just read this piece in your Scottish accent? And I will, if I'm reading something that's,
In high school, I used to get asked to read all the Burns poetry with my accent, because I was the only, because to hear them do it and bastardize it was just awful.
So when you were over in America growing up, did you uphold the Scottish tradition of Burns supper?
Oh, we did. We used to travel, my mom and dad and myself, and Carol was involved at once because we used to do Burns suppers, and my dad would do the Immortal Memory, my mother would sing, and I would just watch until I was able to, I realized that I had a voice, and I started singing. My sister did some readings too, but we traveled everywhere from parts of southern Illinois to South Dakota, all over the place to do these Burns suppers, and it was done not just for fun, it was done because we actually were proud of our heritage. And I get this a lot even here. People say, well, why don't you speak Scottish all the time? And it's not because I don't want to. It's just because it's something. We all have our little kind of isms and foibles, and it's just one of the things that I have that I'm not able to do.
And because we're bi-dialectical.
Yes, I'm bi-dialectical.
Yeah.
But
your pattern of speech is very Glaswegian. The speed at which you speak.
But you never lose that.
No, and I can hear that.
You mean fast-paced and rambling and never shutting up. Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
The whole, where were we again? See, I get lost.
We were talking about school and...
Yeah, but it was important,
I think one of the things that, we talked a little bit before about how when we were collaborating, we wanted the family value of humor and pranks to come through and that kind of thing. I think the other thing that we really wanted to achieve with this book, and I think we did this, is to not brush over stuff that might have been tough, but to not make this an angst-ridden book about, your childhood.
My growing up was not angsty. My growing up was not traumatized. My growing up was not abusive, nothing like that at all. And I don't blame anybody for anything.
And it's not that people don't have those kinds of lives, but it just seemed to us, sadly, to us that there was room in the market for a book that would just make you laugh and want to call your grandpa or want to call your mom or something like that.
And I have taken a little flack because of that in certain aspects, but and again, there's certain things that you should keep to yourself, and if you have those things that are private, you do. So I just wanted we wanted it to be a fun book.
Yeah, and it certainly made me laugh, but also what it did is very naturally it felt. You illustrate how you come to be where you are, and in this business, in the entertainment industry, loads of people will say, how do you get to become you? How did you become an actor? How did you get to be in that show? And that's a $1 million question which is really difficult to answer because there is no route. And your book, your own particular story, actually, without saying there is no route, shares that.
Yeah. Well, that's the number one question I get asked on my website when I'm signing autographs. People saying, I want to get involved in the business. What should I do? Bake a cake. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I do have an answer, but it's not usually the one they want to hear. My answer is work hard, be good at what you do, and you may not make it. Because, there's thousands of people. I'm lucky. I'm really lucky. And I know I am. And to have, if you want, people also say, when did you want to be famous? Well, I didn't want to be famous. I wanted to work.
But you've just worked very, very hard for a very, very
Famous
long
comes
time.
with what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm chuffed by it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, but people want to be famous. I always say, go on the X Factor. You have a better chance of doing that. Right? But if you want a career, work.
But I think you really put the time and the hours in. At school, you were always doing one show or another, and were constantly rehearsing and being involved with other people doing that exact same thing. You took part in competitions. There's a wonderful bit in the book very funny, about the forensic, a terrible title, odd title, forensic drama competition.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Dramatic duet acting. And there was a girl, Barbie Eagle, who they asked me to be involved because I was, I liked getting up in front of people and doing stuff. And I did the school play, so the speech teacher asked me if I would be involved in what was the speech team or forensics.
Yeah, not CSI.
Not CSI, yeah. I went to this first competition, and we practiced this duet acting piece from The Lion in Winter, and I was the king, and all this kind of stuff, and she was can't remember the actor.
Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah.
And we're doing this. They finally called us up. I'll make this long story short. And I was nervous. I was going to say that word. I was so scared, and I learned a big lesson when I did this because I wasn't as prepared as I thought I should be. So anyway, me, I chucked myself into yeah, let's go, let's do dramatic duet acting. So I stood up, we did the piece, and I got a minute into it. It could only be 3 minutes long. And she said something to me, and we had this table that was set here, and we had a chair here, and I was doing all this acting of walking around her and giving it all because I couldn't remember what I was supposed to say. And I went, then I just went, ah! Ah! And started shouting at her, and her face was like that. Dear God, what is happening? Well, after what seemed like an eternity of screaming and shouting, I came back in with some why do you treat me like this? I just kept going. Well, I thought, right, you can so tell when someone, what we call, dries or goes up. So we're at the awards ceremony afterwards, and she and I, finished the piece and walked off. We're very disappointed, and I realized that I need to be better prepared at things like that, and I was prepared to do that. We're sitting, and they're going, and they go third place, ladies and gentlemen, and they're, from Palos Heights High School, blah, blah, blah. Whole place going. In second place, because there was these girls who did this one from the Children's Hour, with Lillian Hellman piece, which was about two women who were, lesbians, but not really said anything about it, and they were in love, and and these girls were crying.
Which is pretty risky for high school.
Absolutely, and I thought, Jesus, they're going to win. They're talking about lesbians. Second place, Lillian Hellman, da-da-da-da-da. And in first place, dramatic duet acting, and I'm like, John Barrowman and Barbie Eagle. Oh my God, are they blind?